John,
Cesar, here again. Uh, the thing about the still mind,
the what?
the still mind.
Still mind. Yeah.
It's it seems to me that it's not a still mind, it's actually a thought. There's no such still mind.
Still mind is the thought I, free from thought.
Yeah, yeah, it's a thought. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I just wanted to clarify.
Whose mind is still? John's mind. Right? But
Yeah.
John itself is mind. I am John. I am the body. So the mind,
Well, I'm not John.
yes, but we're talking about the still mind yet. Still,
Yeah, but it's my mind. But
yes. But yeah, still mind is a thought. If the I thought, is I am the body. This is I am the body, that's the only thing that I think, that I know. And there are no other thoughts. This is the mind free from thoughts, but it still is the mind.
yeah,
No
but
mind.
it's a thought.
The no mind is when the thought I am the body disappears.
Okay.
And then that which is no mind is I.
That's when the I thought drops, you mean, is it?
Yes.
Okay.
Body identity, sense of individuality, ego, person, jiva, call it whatever you like. And becomes evident, clear that I is consciousness, not the body. Mhm. So when this thought I is free from thoughts, means from objects, right? Because we think about an object. The object may be physical or intellectual, right? Knowledge. This I, when it remains alone, it subsides. Emerges in the self by its own weight. Actually, the self is like a magnetic force that will pull the thought I towards itself. The power of the self is always attracting. See, this magnetic force or power or current is always present. But if the mind is not pure, still, then the mind is like an iron ball. If the iron ball is dirty with other materials, the magnetic pull of the self will not be able to attract the mind towards itself. But when the mind is pure, means still, free from thoughts, then it can be easily absorbed by the self or consciousness.
Thoughts aren't necessarily seen, Caesar.
Hold on a second.
Sorry.
¿Es para ti o es para...? Ah, claro, es el correo. Sorry.
No problem. Thoughts aren't, they're not really seen as such.
Sorry, thoughts.
Thoughts, well, they're not seen, like, really.
If you know that you are the self, there is nothing other than the self. The self being one, what is there for the self to see? Whether it's called God, world, or thought.
Only itself, I mean.
Mm. When one realizes oneself to be the self, everything else, so to speak, everything else is oneself.
So the mind stops making division.
The mind goes on working for the practicality of daily life.
Mm.
But it is no longer a self or a being. It's no longer what we actually are. It's one's tool to navigate in life, so to speak. It remains like a very subtle thing. So it is the intellect. It's just to function in the world, that's all. It's a functioning, it's like an application on a mobile. You can't separate the application from the mobile.
You said that before with Ramina's picture on the phone, yeah.
Yes. So you will refer to yourself as the body without limiting yourself to be the body. You are also the body, so you are not limited to it. The thought I am the body is what appears to be limiting consciousness to the body. The consciousness is limited to the body. Meaning by that it is subject to birth, growth, decay, changes, and death. Right? Consciousness is not limited, it's unlimited. Everything is limited to consciousness because everything is dependent from consciousness. So the apparent sense of duality or differentiation will function as a tool, see, for practical daily duties, even though it will not cover the fact that the self alone is and that we are that self. So the mind will function spontaneously, intelligently, efficiently when it's required. And when it is not required, it will withdraw back into the self. So you have no effort, you don't have to make an effort neither to think or to stop thinking, neither to do or to be still. All that will function spontaneously. As it's meant to be, right? As preordained, one can say. This conversation is preordained, it's destined to happen. So to speak, you and I are just reading our lines. That's all. You may think that you are asking the question, that you are the doer of the question and the listener of the answer and so on, right?
Preordained doesn't mean anything, though.
From the absolute point of view, we can bag it all. There is nothing, see, that's all. See, let's go and play tennis or whatever, right? From the absolute point of view, all these existential matters come to an end. If the self alone is, there is nothing else. Who will convey anything to whom and how? So there is no loss of the capacity to think. There is no loss of memory. There is no loss of the capacity to feel, right? What is lost, or what gets lost, is the sense of individuality. The idea, I am the body, I am a personal, individual, conscious being.
Sorry.
Once this knowledge gets established, we may lose for some time even the capacity, see, our mental capabilities may get suspended or paused. We can be drawn into, I don't know, the so-called big trances or samadhis, right? We may not even respond to the environment or people, right? All that will vary from person to person. The length of the establishment, so to speak, of oneself in one's natural state. But certainly the so-called samadhi or trance will take place. This is what makes the ego to disappear permanently. This non-differentiated state.
That rarely happens, though, Caesar, doesn't it?
Where there is no I, that the state become permanent. And
But it rarely happens. Sorry.
no, sorry. Sometimes it's difficult for me to catch the accent. Can you repeat yourself?
Yeah, that rarely happens that the ego gets totally annihilated for good. It's rare.
It's rarely, what rarely happens is that it disappears once for all and it doesn't come back. In most of the cases, it tends to come back because the tendencies are not fully destroyed once the mind sinks in the self once or twice, it depends. So Ramana Maharshi was one of these rare cases. Most of the cases, the ego bounces back because still we have things written in our agenda. We still have things written in our little personal, individual, selfish to-do list.
Selfishness.
Yes.
That's a tricky one.
Selfishness is for the personal interest, where the person will get benefit out of the action or the thought. Thought is also an action. It's a mental activity. Physical activity is also mental activity.
Even seeking is selfish, isn't it?
Yes. But it finishes with the selfishness.
Oh, yeah.
It's done by the ego, and at the beginning, because of the lack of understanding, apparently the ego will benefit from it. It will not benefit from it.
That happened during my search years ago. I was starting the search, and somewhere along the line, it was like, oh shit. The ego realized what was ahead of it as such. I get you, yeah.
Because apparently the ego is present. The ego says, oh my God, what is ahead of me is annihilation. But does the ego actually exist? No.
Yeah.
It's only an idea, a thought.
Yeah.
I am this body. So it doesn't actually exist. It exists as a thought. So how can a thought realize anything? Much less the self. Actually, realization is the realization that the non-self doesn't exist. Because the self is always present. Means it's already realized. So there is realization of the non-self, but the non-self doesn't exist. That this individual self doesn't exist.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. So in that sense, there is no realization. Because the self is already present, cannot be realized. attain, achieve. One cannot even become that. We cannot become what we actually are, what we already are. So in this sense, when the ego disappears, everything disappears, including the idea of realization. That state is a state with no thoughts, no ideas, no concepts, no belief, simply arise. It will not arise. It's a state where no thought arises. Or arises, right? Where no thought arises.
You're talking to native speaker.
Yeah, but John speak
Irish.
English. That's sometimes difficult to catch because of the accent.
Hello.
He's saying hello to you. Look.
Hello.
You can speak instead.
Yeah,
Ah,
my English is getting worse and worse because of the lack of practice. Even
that's
I'm getting like a heavy accent. And I don't talk too much to Nastia. So I don't talk too much. I- I'm kind of a caveman.
and knowledge. Does knowledge go, Caesar, then?
No,
Like,
no, it doesn't go.
no.
Knowledge is known to be ignorance. So I haven't forget how to speak English or Spanish or whatever, right? I haven't forget to make simple mathematical calculations or to cook or the traffic law or how to drive and to write and read. That is knowledge. This doesn't go. The identity with it goes away. It's not mine because there is no I that can
Hmm.
claim to be the owner of it.
Is it fascinating then? Or is it fascinating or not?
Ever fascinating.
Okay.
It's not a mental fascination. One is always fascinated with oneself. Always self-absorbed, self-aware. The word is literally perceived as a dream because it is a dream. It's like to be awake during a dream, see, but you know it is a dream and it is not real. But when you wake up in the morning and you say, oh God, that was a dream. But you know it only when you wake up. So it's like waking up in the middle of a dream and realize it is just a dream. And I am not even the dreamer of the dream. The mind dreams all this. And the mind is the dream. See, the dreamer and the dream is the mind. I'm just there, being myself.